Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. Today we're going to try something new. Basically what happened when the March patch notes came out, I reviewed them live on my stream and I was interacting with chat and asking questions that came up as I reviewed them. So this video is going to be very long, but you don't need to watch it visually. You can just listen to it more like a podcast. And anyway, it's about an hour and a half of me reviewing the March patch notes. So anyways, I'm very curious to see how you guys enjoy this. Do you prefer me to basically make highlights and condense it down? Or do you like this full-on version that you can just kind of listen to in the background while you're doing other things? Anyways, with that said, let's dive in. New placement matches at the start of each season where tiers can be improved rapidly, allowing players to quickly reach a tier appropriate to their ability. That sounds awesome. I'm very curious though, if they do this, they may just end up where they don't even reset rank, or they may reset it but it's trivial. So this reminds me of Overwatch. They do this. That's nice, just because the thing that I hate at the beginning of the seasons is when you have Masters and Conquerors who are now Platinum and they don't have draft bans, then it just becomes a spamming super OP heroes, which isn't all that fun. So I like that. Number one is a cool thing. I don't think it affects people below Diamond at all, so that's insignificant, I would say. Season rewards have been changed to season challenges. Reach a certain tier during the season to receive it. I mean, that's just a wording change. I don't see any other difference. Like, why does that matter? Hero statistics. Hero pages have showed detailed statistics on the heroes you have used. I mean, I'm curious. Obviously, I'll be curious what that looks like, but yeah, until I see that,
I think maybe it's something like a KDA or something like that.
That'd
be
good. That'd be cool.
I
hope they copy Omyoji Arena. If they copy Omyoji, I'll be super happy with that. That would be an awesome add-in.
Yep.
And also, actually, on that note, for number one, the placement matches, I really, really hope that signals that they are planning to move towards an ELO system like Dota 2 has, or like Overwatch has. If you guys remember my New Year's request list for the AoV developers, that was very, very high as an ELO system. That's probably my number one thing I wish they would implement in the game. Anyways, number 4, number of quick chat messages, that insignificant to me. I mean, some people I could see, but honestly, I'm not even sure that's a good change. As long as they don't make it so I have to have all 16 used, I'm okay with that, because I really don't want a super long list, right? Like, the whole point of quick chat is kind of having your muscle memory to click on the certain command that you want, and 16 is just too much to me. Like, 16 is not a quick chat anymore. That's like a list of things I need to look through, and like my finger click has to be really exact. Like, the click on the message is already a pretty small box, and now I can only imagine that they're half the size, which is going to make clicking on it super annoying. So I'm actually, 4 is not that, I don't really see a huge thing. I will say 4 is nice on, like, if I'm playing on Thai server, because I obviously can't actually type out anything to them, so that will be nice to have that feature. But I don't use 16 messages, so I still don't think that's necessary.
It's not like they listen anyway.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Report feedback optimization. This one is interesting. They're copying Omyoji Arena. They let you report in 3 categories.
Oh, sure.
The receive direct feedback on the results page, I'm not sure what they mean by that. I'm assuming they're going to give us more information when somebody does get punished, which would be nice. Players with low credibility scores will receive fewer Brave points, gold, and experience. So I like the gold and experience penalty. Brave points, I don't really care. That's like, honestly, Brave points are garbage. They're insignificant above, probably like Diamond and above. I don't even think Brave points really matter that much, because you accumulate them so slow. Anyways, golden experience, yeah, that one will hurt. Like, the gold will hurt people, so that's nice. I would be curious on the percentages. If it's like 5%, that's insignificant. Hopefully they like 90% penalty to gold would be nice. That would discouraging people from AFKing, because then they wouldn't, like, yeah, it would just make it a lot harder for them to farm up gold, so I think that would be really good. Swego, are you going to make a co-video with Hunt on the patch notes for YouTube? Yeah, YouTube. I'm going to take whatever we talk about in this stream, and then I'm going to shift it into like a YouTube format. Matt, I saw that. It tells me my average rating for Violet is 0.0. Okay.
That's true.
So, yeah. So it's not out. Oh, Orlando, thanks for this. Thanks for the subscription, brother. Did you guys stop playing, Orlando? But yeah, this is a good place to be if you're still going to be on for the night. I'm going to go over all the patch notes, so that's good. And yes, but anyways, thank you for the sub, Orlando. Appreciate it. Additional mute option, so we can mute by player, I'm guessing. Additional block options. Stop annoying
I think it's
message
already
sound
there.
effects by mute. What are the message sound effects? Muting sound effect message players. They will still be displayed in UI, but will not
Oh
play
yeah,
any
I
sound.
think I remember that. I remember
What is
reading
that?
this. So I think there's already a specific mute. You don't have to mute everyone. You can mute a specific player. But the other thing is, you know, when you go into a match and there's like a specific person that don't overextend, get back to farming, and he spams the shit out of it, and there's no limit for that. Like just keeps spamming that. I think that it makes kind of a sound or something like that. I think they're muting it,
Oh,
so it doesn't bother
okay.
you while you're playing.
So like the
So it's gonna
ping
show
sound,
up. It's still
I
gonna show
guess.
up. Oh yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Oh, it's probably yeah. Okay. I got you. Okay,
Something
cool.
like that.
So that I guess that's a quality of life chat. I don't know. That's minimal importance to me. I don't really
I
care
play
about that.
without volume anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not
Like
like
I
that.
don't even hear that anyway. So,
Mhm.
good going to sleep. Okay, Swig, I'll see you later. Yeah, and you can watch it on YouTube. So yes, for those of you who are debating between sleep or listen to this, don't worry. I'm going to publish this onto YouTube, so you'll still get the same breakdown of the patch notes. You just won't be able to ask questions live as we discuss it. That's the difference. Yep. Anyways, so should I add? Okay, I'm not going to do it this time, but next time I might add my Twitch chat into the video also, and then that way when I share the video with you guys on YouTube, you'll have the chat also. But anyways, new user setting for the cloud. That's nice. As somebody who just got like switch phones, that's a nice thing. It's not something that's commonly going to be useful, but it is nice when you switch phones to have it. Flexible idle teammate. This is nice change. That's a very nice change. I'm very curious if they make this open to the whole team or if it's only open to one person still, because I honestly wish they would make it open to everybody on the team or some sort of voting system, because I hate when they don't give it to me and then the person just has them sitting in spawn the entire time.
Or for example, the jungle takes him. For example, it's like
Yeah.
follow me. You can't follow him.
Yeah.
This is actually in KOG. I just noticed it today when I was playing. It's like a small arrow, and you can click it, and it'll always show up. And you can select follow me or go back. It's always there. It's always gonna be there. You can always click it and you know take it, change this setting, or you can if he's following you, you can click it and stay at base, and he'll go back at base.
Oh,
Something
nice.
like
So
that. So
all
that's pretty. Yeah,
players
yeah.
can access the AFK
Yeah, yeah,
bot.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
But
That's really
it
good.
depends on
That's
who.
an awesome
It
change.
depends on who gets it first, though. If he's at base, you can shift it to someone. But if he's following you, you can't just
And
open it and
yeah.
follow me. No, you
No,
can't
but
do
that's
that.
good. I
So
mean
it's
that's already
mhm.
good. I'm
Yeah,
happy
yeah,
with that. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
because the times that it kills me is when it's in base and I wish it would be following somebody. Like so that
Exactly.
everybody will
Yeah.
have the chance to make it follow them, so that's good.
Yes, 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 yes.
Himmer, you can read my idea in Discord. Your idea, does it have to do with the patch notes or is it something else? If it's something else, I'm not going to do it now, but if it has to do with the patch notes, I will look at it.
Go take a look.
Yeah. On your question server. Okay. And then, hey, what's going on, Van? What's going on? Just covering the patch notes. So, anyways, new hero costume customization. What you can now customize certain skins, such as adding bunny ears or make. Oh, okay. So they're just making customization more. That's just so they're going to be able to get more money out of us for skins and stuff.
Himmer,
So, I mean,
sorry, quickly. Himmer, what's your name on the Discord? Is it Minato? That's your name? If that's him, then yeah, it is related to the patch notes, but you're not gonna read it now. You're gonna read it after everything. So
after
I'll read it
everything.
myself.
Okay,
But
sounds good.
after everything, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. And Chat Master, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, man.
Welcome to the stream. So customization, that's fine. It's another way for Tencent to make money. I'm not against them making money. I prefer them to make money on cosmetics than like paywall heroes and stuff like that. So
Yes,
I'm happy
yes,
with
yes.
that. Okay, so anyways, on to the more interesting stuff. Battlefield changes. Design concept. We tweaked the Abysmal Dragon buff so that it remains relevant throughout, becoming a key resource that makes heroes more powerful for players to fight over. Get gold and experience for the match by killing the dragon. Heroes
Will
near
is
the
here as
Abysmal
well.
Dragon when it is... Oh, go ahead, talk. I'll read
Hey,
silently then.
Will. Okay. Will is here.
Buff. Oh, Will, what's going on? Hey, how's it going?
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
So this is something I wished for. I never mentioned, but I always wished for. They made it like the Kraken in Omnioji, which is like if you take the Kraken once, it's over. You get the 5% for the whole match, and it's really, really crucial. in the game, people don't even care about the dragon much. You don't need the dragon. It just gives you a temporary boost, and then you can abysmal.
Dude,
Did you just
I'm
say abysmal?
Abyssal, right? Yeah, Abyssal Dragon.
Abyssal. I think Maddie heard it. Abysmal,
Oh, okay,
abysmal dragon.
okay. I can easily
Yeah.
missay it, but yes. Okay, so a couple things on this dragon. What Adam's saying. One, I think this will make the dragon much more important. Something I
Mm-hmm.
think is very interesting is that it won't be team wide. It'll only be people within a certain radius of the dragon when it is killed. So that's another really interesting thing. There's two main reasons that's really interesting, because it means that if you have, let's say, a Lindis jungle, like them soloing the dragon when the enemy team's not paying attention is not going to be as valuable, because then only Lindis will get the buff. Another thing is for steals, it will affect steals because same thing, if I'm the enemy, let's say I'm like a Natalia and I just laser the dragon over the wall, it's not really going to, I'm going to get the gold and XP obviously, but the buff is not going to go to my team. So that I think is very interesting. Another thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this because not only is it going to put more emphasis on the dragon, but it's going to put more emphasis on teams taking the dragon as a group instead of just stealing it or like solo farming it type of a thing. Yeah, Will, after I finish the patch notes, I'm down to hopping games. We can do our duo stream up again.
Minuscule.
The buff is pretty minuscule though, like 200 damage if you're full build. So, okay, yeah, let's look at the buff itself. That's a good point. And it only lasts 90 seconds, so it's not like the whole game lasting. Skill, normal attack, steal, 180 plus 15 per level. That's going to be high. So level 4, you take the dragon in general. First dragon. So at first dragon, you're talking about 240 damage, then out of your AP and additionally off your AD. What at 2-minute mark? I'm trying to think what my AD would be around. Like, I don't know, honestly. Does anybody know what your attack damage is going to be around 2 minutes? So around level 4. I want to say around like 200-ish, I'm guessing.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
That would be my
Depends,
guess.
but
Don't take my word for
average
this.
is 200, 250, something like that.
Yeah,
if
so
you're like high damage, 300. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But average 250.
Okay, so let's go 250. So if you go 250 times that would be about another 180-ish damage. So no, that's not insignificant damage, man. We're talking about like 400 plus damage. That's significant. It's magic damage like, and it's magic damage. So if you're AD, that really helps you because now you're hybrid damage, and people don't normally have high magic resistance early in the game. So magic damage over 3 seconds when hit an enemy. So basically, you're going to get like a Maganga dot for 400 damage, magic damage. That's going to hurt. I mean, I think that's significant. I don't know why. Maybe you have other reason why you think it's less significant, but the numbers on the patch notes are way off. Oh, okay. I got you. So the numbers that they're showing us are not the actual how they implemented it. Is that what you're saying, Tiny?
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be the first time. It's like Purify Embracer's last patch. I thought they were going to be awesome, and then they made such a garbage version of them. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah. Cool. So see, that's an awesome thing when you go through patch notes as a group. Okay, so basically what Tiny's saying is that the damage only ends up being really 200 instead of being what it should be based on this formula. So yeah, if it's 200 damage, I mean, it's still something that's going to turn a team fight, but yeah, 200 damage over 3 seconds is not really anything game breaking. But I'm trying to, can the buff stack? So for instance, if 5 different teammates have the buff and they hit one hero, does that hero get 5 stacks? Or is it just like one stack?
I think it's just one for each hero. But it would be like
because if it stacks, that's a lot, right? Because if 5 people hit one person, that's 1,000 damage of dot, so that's going to be good. But if it doesn't stack, that's pretty insignificant.
Yeah. I think it doesn't.
I'm gonna guess it doesn't stack if it works like other mechanics, but who knows? Obviously, they didn't follow this formula either, so their implementation may not be that good of it. But anyways, on to the next thing. Dark Slayer design concept. We increase Slayer spawn rate in order to increase pushing and game pace in the late game, as well as address the issue of the Drake being too weak. Slayer respawn time. So they reduce the respawn to 7 minutes instead of 8. And Oh no, sorry. It spawns now at the 7-minute mark instead of the 8-minute mark, so it spawns earlier and it spawns every 3 minutes instead of every 5. Okay, so that is significant. That the respawn interval is significant. That will definitely affect because you could have the second DS take at 10 minutes, which that would be pretty. That's going to advance the pace of the game, and the Drake's damage is increased by 20%, so that's significant also.
Yeah.
I like that change. I think something I really love about Omyoji Arena that you guys have heard me say before is the Darkslayer and
Demon
Dragon
Parade.
equivalents matter a lot more. Like they're a lot
Yeah.
more of a strategic objective that the team must focus on, or they're just flat out going to lose the game. And I really like that AoV is heading in that direction because I think it encourages good gameplay, like interesting to watch, right? At the end of the day, what all of us want as AoV players is we want the community to grow. We want the game to become more popular. And a lot of that will come from good content creators and then a healthy professional scene. So like the Ties, they have 2 million watch their pro league. And I think these type of changes can lead to very fun pro play, right? Like, because it leads to those sick steals. It leads to just those really coordinated, beautiful objective takes. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Enraged Abyssal Dragon. Okay, so when it enrages, let's see, we want Enrage to be a neutral resource. Okay, so they want it to be a stalemate breaker. I like that. So that's on to what we were saying. Delay in spawn, extend its buff time. It's interesting they delayed the spawn. Okay, so I think what they're trying to do is stagger it with DS, I'm guessing. Respawn time, 15 minutes. I have to be misreading that, right? It can't possibly respawn 15. Like, it's not even going to spawn. I mean, what game is going to wait for a 19-minute in second dragon? Wait, respawn time. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Spawn inner. What's the difference between respawn time and so spawn must be when it first spawns? So it's first going to spawn at 15 minutes.
Spawn at four. No. It's gonna spawn first at 4 minutes. And then instead of respawning again at 10 minutes, it's gonna respawn at 15. So it's gonna prolong. So they buffed it, but they're gonna make it's gonna spawn first at, like on Miyoji, it doesn't do it 5 minutes. It does it 4 minutes. So at 4 minutes the Kraken spawns and then it respawns. This one is gonna take, when it respawns again, it's gonna be 15. I know that's a lot, but yeah. So first 4 minutes is gonna pop up, and then if you kill it after 15 minutes, it's gonna pop up.
So it's going to have an 11-minute gap between spawns?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Stupid.
I don't that.
But
that doesn't.
The buff is going to be 3 minutes.
Okay, and real quick and why I'm saying that's crazy is they just made the Darkslayer way more common. It's going to spawn, respawn way more often, and then at the same time you're going to make the dragon just have a crazy, insane spawn rate. So that's like, I don't know. That's weird to me.
To finish the game, then they want. I think it's obvious that they want people to focus on finishing the game quickly, so they're just gonna keep rushing at the Darkslayer instead of the dragon.
The buff,
because the dragon is like the thing now. It's the more important thing.
And they only doubled the buff duration, so it's not like a super. I mean, it is enough that you're gonna get objectives, but
yeah.
So what's gonna but what's also interesting to me is if you think about it, you get dragon at 4 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, and I don't think that's right though, because enraged dragon now is around 10 minutes, right? That's when a dragon enrages. It doesn't enrage at 5 minutes. I think you're wrong, Adam. I think 15 minutes is when it's going to enrage. That's going to be the first enraged dragon is 15 minutes. And then I think it will spawn every 4 minutes after that.
Like constantly it's going to respawn, and this one is for the why didn't they write it then? I mean, this is how I understood it. It said respawn time. It didn't say no,
because spawn interval is how often it spawns, right? The interval of spawning. So that's 4 minutes, which makes more sense.
See, the thing is, it's written enraged abyssal dragon respawn time and enraged abyssal dragon spawn time. There's no abyssal dragon and enraged abyssal. There's no difference. It's just enraged. So which one is which? These all point to the same dragon, which is the evolved dragon.
Yeah, the evolved dragon. And I'm almost positive it's going to spawn 15 minutes. It can't be 5 minutes. That's way too early. So it'll spawn at 15 and then every 4 minutes. So 15, 19, 23 is when the enraged dragon would come back. That would be my understanding. Well, 15 and then
Uh,
whenever you kill it.
makes
But
sense.
anyways.
Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
so then, okay, let's think about this math. So Darkslayer pops up at 7 minutes. Oh yeah, and see, respawn time is what they're using of its
Oh
initial
no, no, no.
spawn.
You're right.
Because if
You're
you
right.
look at
Yeah, yeah,
Darkslayer
yeah, yeah.
respawn, okay, so 7 minutes Darkslayer comes up, then it could come at 10 minutes, 13 minutes. So you could actually have 1, 2, 3 Darkslayers killed before the Enraged Dragon ever even pops onto the map. So that's pretty interesting also. So yeah, they definitely want people. I think what happened is the dragon tends to be the better buff in the games, and it tends to be
Yes.
what people want
Yes.
more. So they want to shift some focus back to the Darkslayer, but they don't want to make the Darkslayer too OP, is what I would feel. So, anyways, that's definitely going to change the game. I guess that's where I could do a prediction. Based on these changes, I think there will be more focus. This is how it plays out to me. And actually, let me read the tower tweak because my idea comes together. So tower gold reward is being significantly nerfed. So it was 60, 80, 100, and now it's going to be tier 1 is 40, tier 2 is 40, and high ground towers are worth 80. And that's per player. So multiply that by 5, okay? So it used to be 300, 400, 500. Now it's going to be 200, 200, 400. That is huge buff to tower gold. Or sorry, huge nerf to tower gold. Like, too much to me. So now a high ground tower will be worth less gold than the dragon, as an example. That's and I'm assuming at the game time, so not when the dragon first spawns, but anyways, that's too much to me. Like, I can tell what they want to do. So what they want to do is what they want us as players to do is they want us to focus on getting a Darkslayer at the 7 minute, using the Darkslayer to then get towers, and they're reducing the towers because they want to make Darkslayer where it is going to automatically give your team at least 1, probably 2 towers. And if it gives you those 2 towers, they didn't want to keep the gold where it was, or else the game would just snowball out of control, right? Because imagine you killed.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, imagine you
That's what I'm
killed
thinking. I'm thinking
Darkslayer.
this is very accommodating of a very hard snowball. So no soft snowballing, very hard. So you take buffs, you take this objective, that objective, this, and then you just go ham on the towers and you just obliterate the other teams. Like very unlikely for another team to come back because she's just way too ahead. I think this is what they're shifting towards.
And that's why I think they want to reduce that a little bit. So they want to make us still kill Darkslayers, but they don't want us to be. They don't want a unrecoverable snowball. So that's why they nerf the tower gold. This will be interesting. I'm not sure if I like this. I'm gonna have to play with it, to be honest. In my thing is I hate when teams are not objective focused. But normally, to me, I count towers as part of the objective. So now I think teams are going to be more objective focused, but it's going to be onto the jungle monster. So it's going to be onto the Darkslayer, onto the dragon, and then towers will be secondary. So this is going to choose a lot. It's going to, the original point I was trying to make is it's going to mix up people's decision making from a macro level. So for me, for instance, I would have used to have chosen the tier 1 tower dragon lane over getting the dragon. I would normally kill the tower, then do the dragon, right? Because the dragon will get contest. I'll get the tower for big gold, and then if the enemies contest me at dragon, I have that big gold lead to fight them. But now it changes to where I would actually probably kill the dragon, get the big gold, get the buff on my team, and then I would take the tower. So I think we'll see different decision making in solo queue in the latter. Him or the abysmal dragon JS too good to be in early game. JS
is too good to be in.
Is too good to be in.
It's too good to be in. Yeah.
The Abysmal Dragon is too good to be in early game. I'm assuming what you mean, Himmer, is the dragon is going to be like very heavily focused early game, much more than it is so now. And that I agree. I think that is definitely what's going to happen. Junglers are going to hug dragon side. So junglers are probably going to become more predictable in their DS start than they used to be. Because I think if junglers go for DS ganks, if they go dragon buff, DS buff, and then go to gank the dragon side, like teams are just going to get the dragon and then just go crazy. No TH.
See, the thing is...
okay, I don't know, Himmer. You're confusing me with all these abbreviations, man. The new 3v3 rework is tight. The dragon after 15 minutes.
What?
Oh, the Enraged Dragon. Yeah, what about the Enraged Dragon?
Okay.
The Abysmal
so
is...
saying it's better if it's later. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay. I got you. So you're saying the buff is too strong early game for the enrage, so pushing it back is good, is what you're
Tiny
saying,
will come to
Hammer?
that in a second. Yeah. I think so.
Okay. But anyways, I think that's not as super important. It's overall Dragon will be focused heavily. And then Darkslayer, I think around 7 minutes, that will become another hard time in the game. So like right now to me, I look at pre 2 minutes and I look at 2 minutes. And the reason for that is Dragon spawns at 2 minutes. I think that'll stay the same. But after later in the game, I don't really set a hard time for the Darkslayer that much in my mind. But now I will. So now I'll have pre 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 7 minutes. Like to me, those will be very
Small
hard
thing to
set.
savor.
I want to rotate, I want to clear waves and be at a certain part of the map at that hard time. And then same thing, 15 minutes, like Himmer I think is saying, at 15 minutes it'll be a hard time for the enraged. So you got 2 minute, 7 minute, 15-minute hard times built into the game. So that should be interesting. But another thing is a lot of games end before 15-minute mark. So that makes sense why the developers were saying they want to use the enraged dragon to split up tiebreakers. Because normally if you're snowballing a game, you're going to end before 15-minute mark. So the only games that make it to 15 are when it is a heavy, very close game, right? Gold levels are close, objectives are close, towers wise. But anyways, I think that's enough on that note for now. I didn't read the rest. The growth rate of the dragon is going down. Okay, so yeah, of the towers. So not only are the towers worth less at a base level, how much they're worth actually grows significantly slower. So it used to, and what I mean by that is it starts at 40 gold and it keeps growing at 6.5% every 30 seconds. Now it's only going to grow at 5%. So yeah, towers are just, that's another nerf to the tower gold. So towers are just seriously worth a lot, or seriously worth nothing compared to what they were worth. Lane speed up starts at 6 minutes to 10 minutes now.
This one tilts me. Yeah.
Enhanced melee unit starting health is reduced. Okay, enhanced melee unit starting gold is reduced. So for everybody, 52 is still higher than a normal melee minion. So it's still, so they're reducing that gold advantage of the Dragon Lane had by, I'd have to look at the numbers. I think that's about maybe like 8% nerf to the Dragon Lane gold. So I mean, it's a nerf. I'm surprised they made this change. I feel like when they redid the Dragon Lane, it did start to move the game in the direction that they wanted it to be. But I guess they feel like they're giving us so much advantage with the Dragon and the new Darkslayer that they don't want games to snowball too hard. So this to me is a anti-snowball mechanic also, in that the lane speed up for everybody from last patch, what they did is the minion waves become faster and faster as the game progresses. And why that is so important is because after you get a team fight, and let's say you wipe the enemy team, you often have to wait for minion waves until you can take towers, right? So by speeding up the minion waves, it means that if you lose a big team fight, you're very likely to lose multiple towers. So by slowing it down, you're actually protecting teams when they take a bad fight. So if a team gets wiped, they're actually safer now because the minion waves are moving slower. I don't like this. I love the fact that they sped up the minions last patch. I thought that was awesome and did lead to faster games. And to me, that's not the type of snowballing I don't like. That's the type of snowballing I am a fan of. And the reason for it is this, is if I feel like I should be rewarded if I wipe the enemy team. Okay? So if we get in a 5v5 fight, and let's say it's 7 minutes at Darkslayer, right? Well, now my minions are not sped up. They're the same speed, right? So I wipe the enemy team at Darkslayer, I get Darkslayer, right? I'm going to drop the Darkslayer. I want that wave to be moving fast already so that I can just get into that lane and just start pushing down objectives, pushing down towers. So I'm not as big of a fan of that. Himmer, and those big minions that appear in the Dragon Lane won't appear after they come 10 waves. Oh, they switch. Oh, wait. So they're going to switch out. What do they switch it with, though? Is that what gets replaced by the Siege minion? And so what? Will they have a melee arranged and a Siege minion in the Dragon Lane after that? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to play with that. So
not mentioned there.
New Fog of War feature. Players' vision range is
This is
represented
not a big
as
deal.
fog of war on the map, providing a deeper battlefield experience. Players can set the fog on and off when setting up a match. I like this. I like fog
Yeah.
of war because it lets you know when you have been spotted. I think a big problem to players is they don't understand when they were spotted or when they revealed their location to the enemy team. This really applies when you're invading. Like, there's a lot of players who still don't understand that if you go to steal the red buff, you can be
You show
spotted
up.
by the minion wave if you're not in the
Yeah.
bush. So I
Yeah.
like this change because it'll make it easier for players new to AoV to learn, like, oh, I got spotted by the minion wave. So I like the Fog of War change. That's cool. 3v3 mode tweaks. I'm not really going to read through those. I honestly, I don't really care about
There are
those as
actually a
much.
lot. There's actually it's pretty essential.
I mean, it's a
for
lot, but
the
it's
when
not.
it comes
To me, it's not the main
no, no.
game.
I mean,
There's no
yeah,
competitive for
I
it. There's no
understand, but
anything like that. So I'm not really.
I'm saying that it's not that you're ignoring it. It's not like a big deal for anyone who's watching.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is a big
yeah.
deal not going through it.
Old King
That's really
Cole, I was really excited about Fog of War 2, but it lagged my phone to unplayable
Oh,
levels. Oh, that's an interesting point.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
okay, so if it makes the requirements high, then that's... But so you can turn it off though, right, Cole? From what it seems
Yeah,
like in the patch. I'm guessing it's like an optional
yeah.
thing. Is that correct or incorrect?
I mean, the vision will stay the same. It's just the effect that you're adding.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but maybe they fucked up with the effect. I don't know. It could
But
be.
I think it's still good if they let you turn off... Okay, so I totally... If they... Yes, sir, it's toggle. Yeah, so if it's toggle, that's perfect.
Mm.
I think that's really well implemented, and this is why. Is because then if you're like Old King Cole and your phone can't handle the fog, you can turn it off. But at the same time, when you go into trial, right, when you go into your practice mode, you can still turn it on and you can still get a feel for what the enemies can see, where they can see you, where they can't see you. So I think that's still good, right? So like Cole,
Yeah.
he can go in, he can toggle on the Fog of War, move around the map, learn how to path to steal different jungle camps, and then he can turn it back on later. So I think that's all, and turn it back off so he doesn't lag later. So I think that's awesome. Tolan the Pure. Will I think Sketty wants me to come play solo or queue up with him, but Tolan the Pure Thunderclap magic. Okay, so when I look at these abilities, I covered this before. What I look at is there's basically three components. Okay, there's the base damage, the 320. There's the scaling damage, which is the 0.52, and there is the per level, like fixed per level. So that's another scaling. So the 40 is scaling off of level. The 0.52 is scaling off of itemization. Okay, so I think it's very important to separate them. When a hero scales off of level, they make a good jungler. Okay, because junglers are going to be ahead in level. When they scale off of items, that's when you want to get a lot of gold onto them. So you might want to move them to dragon lanes, something like that, right? That's why marksmen tend to scale off of items, which is why we put them where they can get a lot of gold. Junglers tend to scale off of level, which is why we put them in the jungle. Anyways, I think that is an important thing. So Tolan's base damage is getting nerfed. His scaling is getting buffed. Itemization scaling buffed, and his per level is getting buffed. So basically, it looks like they're shifting power from early game for Tolan into the mid and late game, which is probably good. Jinnar the Incorrupt... Wait,
Yeah.
what? It says Tolan, and then why does it say Jinnar?
No. It's like they didn't go enter and bold, but this.
Oh,
passive
okay, so this
limitation
is the
is for
next.
Jinnar,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So anyways, they're
Yeah,
shifting
yeah.
some
I
power
see
for
it.
Tolan. I think this is probably good because Tolan was... As a mage goes, Tolan fell off compared to the other mages late game. Also, he's an assassin. Actually, no, I think this hurts him. Because here's the thing. Tolan is more of a go in and clean up, and he kind of suffers like assassins do, is that as the game progresses and people build defense and people become more tanky and everything, it gets harder and harder for him to get the damage he needs to before he gets burst down by the enemy team. So the thing that really helped him is he was very strong early game, and he could leverage that to snowball games. So this, I think, is actually going to hurt Tolan
This is the
a
same thing
pretty
that happened
reasonable
to
amount.
Richter as well. Last patch, the same Richter effect. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just shifting
it's
power.
trying to balance
Yeah.
something, but you mess it up. This patch is just conflicted. It's very conflicted. From the changes of the battlefield to the changes in the heroes, it weirds me out. I don't know.
And then
But anyway,
Jinnar the Incorruptible passive. So his passive is his enhanced auto attack, effect does not crit. Okay, I
Does
would
not
say
crit.
that's a bug fix basically, because normally your enhanced stuff can't crit. But okay, so I mean that's fine. That won't really. I mean, it'll minimally affect Jinnar, but not that much. It's not like he was going crit build for his passive.
You
So
can still face roll. You
yeah,
can still face roll.
yeah, he's still he. I don't. That's a very minor nerf to Jinnar. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I'll do 1 to 10. How much I think it'll affect them. Toland's I will say is like a 4. A 4 of a nerf. And 10 would be like insanely unplayable. Jinnar's is like a 1, maybe a 2. 1.5. Crixie movement speed increase will help her keep you in her ultimate. It'll help her land her her knock up.
Sad.
That's a buff of like, I don't know, maybe 0.1. Same as Jinnar's is a nerf, I guess. Water Ascendant Saphira. Okay, so on to Saphira. So we're talking her S1. So base damage same. The scaling is got nerfed off of itemization. And base normal attack is same. Okay, so basically they nerfed Saphira's scaling. Percent wise, what, 40, so 1/8, so it's about 12% nerf on both of the about. And 10%. Okay, so it's about a 12 on the magic damage and 12% on auto attack, or 10% on the auto attack. That's definitely a nerf. Her S1 is her bread and butter, but Saphira's main contribution to the team doesn't really come from her damage. I would say it more comes from her sustain and her peel, right? Like just her kit just makes her very useful. So I don't know, maybe a 3. I'll say this is a 3 of a nerf, I guess. Darcy, Dimensional Force, recover for normal attack. What does that mean? Does that mean how long it lasts?
Oh no! I'll tell you.
Okay.
Dimensional Force is when he gets his rage bar complete, and then when he casts something, he heals. Oh, or
yeah.
no.
So what's the recovery mean? It's when he turns blue.
Sorry,
right?
excuse me. Oh yeah, when his skills are enhanced, recovery your normal attack. So the things that he recovers from, it's gonna be, instead of 6 points, it's gonna be 5 points. I think that's how fast the rage bar fills.
Yes.
So I think it's gonna be a little bit slower.
Oh, yeah. Recovery from. Oh, so you're thinking he'll become enhanced that bar slower, right? Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay, got you. Okay, so that's what 1, so 20. Yeah, I mean that's a nerf definitely. That will hurt him because that does matter. That's how he pokes people. Let's see his other base damage buff. Scale, his level is buffed. His scaling is reduced. Okay, so this, like we were talking, this to me actually would shift him into a better jungler than a mid, and people already consider him to be a better jungler. So I would say this even more pushes Darcy into the jungle category. Cooldown, so they did up his cooldown. Not super significant on the cooldown. Dimensional Cube, so they nerf the base, nerf the per level, and they boost the scaling. Okay, so that's really interesting. So his Dimensional Walk, which is when he turns blue and he zaps you with that enhanced auto attack, basically.
The damage wasn't that great, so I think it's good that they buffed it a little bit. And it's the main skill that you use when you're jungling, not the Q.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think, and the cube people didn't like because it was hitting too hard early game, so they just rebalanced that to late game. So it's interesting. So I would say this basically makes him neutral. I would say it makes him neutral damage-wise, but it gives him, it makes him a better jungler. So hopefully that's clear what I mean by that. Yorn the Hot Shot. Skill 3, Heart Shot. So increase the cooldown. Mana cost. Okay, so flat out 120 instead of scaling up. I mean, it's obviously a nerf. I don't really play Yorn that much, so it's hard for me to say how heavy, but this doesn't look significant at all. I mean, it's pretty minimal. We're only talking about 2-second cooldown, and for mana cost,
you have to keep in mind that Yorn
huge.
is very dependent on mana. They use a shit ton of mana, both of them. So any changes to mana, even if they're small, it kind of hits them.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay, I'll trust.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm not a super Yorn expert.
yeah,
What
yeah,
would you say this is as a nerf to him? 1 to 10.
yeah.
10
Maybe
unplayable. 1 is like it didn't even. I mean, it
like a
nothing.
4 or something. I don't think
4?
it's that huge,
4?
but
Wow.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll trust you. But okay, so we'll go with a
It's
4 on
not
that.
that great, but it is great late game. So yeah,
Oh, and then Darcy. By the way, I'm not giving a number because I think it's neutral. They just shifted. I mean, maybe as a nerf, it's
I
like
think yeah,
it's more of
3.
a to me. To me, Darcy is more of
3.
a
Let's
rework
say
than it
3.
is a nerf or a buff.
Maybe true. Yeah, yeah, you have a
Um,
point.
Violet, the
But
pistol assassin
then
movements. Oh, go ahead.
the recovery from the dimensional forces, it's definitely a nerf.
Okay,
That's totally a nerf.
which the dimensional force is a nerf,
Yeah,
but
the other one not really.
I don't think that's a super significant nerf either. So dimensional force will go. I'll say a 3 of a nerf. These two are just more rebalancing than they are anything else
Yeah.
in my view. Okay, so Violet and Fennec, they gave the same buff as Crixie, so same thing, minimal. So what's interesting to me is most likely this is because they want. I can't think of the hero off the top of my head, but I would be interested to look at some of the assassins' movement speed. This might make it so that some of the assassins or maybe the
I'll go
warriors
right now.
can't.
I'll go right now.
Yeah, is they won't be able they'll be able to kite them indefinitely, right? So for instance, if let's say Quillen was a 340 and now Violet is a 350, that means that without using his gap closer, Violet will actually be able to slowly run away from Quillen. So to me, I feel like that's probably what's behind this movement speed change to Violet, Fennec, and Crixie. So I'd have to look at those numbers, but I think Adam's doing that, so we'll see. But anyways, that's how I view that. Pocket glaives. Let's see. Red dart damage. Okay, so this is really long. Okay, so base damage same. Level scaling same. Itemization scaling increased on AD. Okay, so that's very minimal. We're talking about 5%. 5% better scaling on his AD damage. That's probably maybe they want to encourage people to not go for like AP builds on Valheim. Maybe they were getting upset people were doing those type of trollier builds, but that's minimal. I mean, that's a very minimal change. So okay, this is 80. So base same, level same, scaling AD again. Okay, yeah, so it looks like all of these are just AD scaling is changed. Sorry, base level is the same. Yeah, scaling AD. Okay, yeah, so all of these, they just scale up the AD. I think they just want people to more focus on AD than doing AP Valheim builds. And AD and AP, for those of you who don't know, AD is attack damage, AP is ability power. So magic damage, right? So AD is physical, AP is magic damage.
So marksmen and mages are usually average at 340 movement speed. Assassins are 380.
Okay, so assassins close a little. What about warriors?
1 sec.
Like warrior tanks. Maybe they're trying to make that. So basically, assassins are going to catch up a little bit slower against the people, the Fennec, Violet, and Crixie.
Warrior tanks.
And Adam's looking at that. Oh, go ahead.
80 as well. There were 3.
Same. Okay, so basically they're just making it take a little bit longer for assassins, warriors, those type of people to catch up to Violet, Crixie, and Fennec. So I have a feeling that's more they know of some specific interaction that's targeting would be my guess. Anyways, so moving on from that, Elsu Snipe nerf. Damage wise, base damage nerf and scaling damage is nerfed. I think this is a good change. Elsu is obviously overpowered. This is very minimal nerf though. I mean, we're talking about 5%. 5% on the base and what is that? 10%. This is minimal. Honestly, I also am fine with Elsu's snipe. Elsu's snipe, I don't think is the issue. To me, the issue with Elsu is his auto attack is freaking strong, like too strong.
It has to be. It has to be. The dude is like he melts, man.
Tweak the aim indicator so that it
if
matches.
you want to balance him, yeah.
Oh, this aim indicator may help Elsu's also, to be honest. The fact that if they really made this aim indicator better, it's going to make it easier to land snipes. That would be nice as an Elsu player. The other thing that this is probably kind of targeting is Elsu doing shotgun mode. And what I mean by shotgun is when he stands right on top of like an enemy or a monster, he can just just use his snipe and it'll still hit them. That did make Elsu really strong in jungle clearing and stuff like that. So it'll hurt that part of his game. But overall, I would prefer to see changes to his auto attack than see to his abilities, because I don't actually feel his abilities are too insane. Disengage. This is a big one. This is a big nerf to him. So the slow on his ultimate down from 50 to 30. His own movement speed down from 30 to 20. So that's a big difference. That's a big swing. So it used to be you got slowed by 50 and he got sped up by 30. So now it's down to 30, 20. So that is a 30% difference. So that's big. I mean, that's you can close in on him a lot more.
Was OP. This skill was oof.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I think this is a good nerf to Elsu, and it is a significant nerf because, and also the fact that they brought up the cooldown. Here's why Elsu is just so ridiculous: is his auto attack super high. So you get on him, your assassin, right? You get the good positioning, you catch him out of position, and then he just simply ults, disengages, and then starts auto attacking, and you're done. If you're an assassin, you're done because he just puts out so much quick damage on you. So this I like because, one, he's not going to have that I got out of position, let me get out of this button as often. And then also it's not going to work as often. Like if a Quilling gets on him, they're probably going to be able to stick on him a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty tactical hero. If you don't play him like that, you're going to fail.
Yeah, this is going to make Elsu players have to be more careful, whereas they used to be able to get away with poor positioning. So I like that. As a nerf, I would say that's significant. This is probably the biggest nerf I've read so far out of all of them. Maybe like a 5. I don't I'm not, and I say a 5 because I think he's still going to be banned because, like I said, to me the big thing was his auto attack. That the ult may be to where he's kind of a borderline ban. Like I can see him sneaking through draft ban now, which would be cool because honestly I like Elsu. I like to play him. I would like to play him above Diamond, but Kilgraw, the Fnatic attack speed increased from 6. So they're just...
Caldwell.
That's it.
Caldwell, make sure he's watching.
Wait, why would happen? Oh, and a guy in orange. I wish they would buff slightly the snipe and then nerf the auto into the ground so that it only can be snipes. That would be cool. But I think...
No, it wouldn't.
He still needs his auto because he would be terrible in team fights. Snipe mode, Elsus are already the worst. So I think if they were going to do that, a guy in orange, they would have to really... It's a risky change, and they would really have to rebalance his snipe differently. Or else it would become unusable in team fights.
Yep.
Anyways, Kilgraw, so cooldown, reduce the cooldown on his Enraged Spear, and then attack speed. So it's a buff. This isn't going to make Kilgraw all of a sudden relevant. I think he's pretty irrelevant as a DS laner right now, and I don't see this putting him in the picture. It's a buff. I would say it's a 3 of a buff, maybe like 2.5, 3, something like that.
The thing is, no one cares.
Once again, I don't really play Kilgraw that much, so if there's a Kilgraw main out there who disagrees, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear your reasoning. Lubu, skill 1. Okay, so rank 1 and rank 2 move fast. Wait, what? Rank 1 and rank 2 have faster movement speed and shorter recovery? So, what? Oh, they're saying cast 1 and cast 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, because rank makes so little sense. Okay, so that's cool. Honestly, to me, that's the thing I don't like about Lubu is he has that kind of, I would call it like a glitchiness when you use his S1, right? Like, it's clunky. Clunky is the word. That's the perfect word. It's clunky to use. So if they smooth that out and they make it feel more fluid, like you're doing some sort of like badass kung fu combo, I think that would be a great Lubu change. Once again, I'm not a Lubu main. Like, I don't really play him that much. I can't tell you, and obviously there's no numbers, so I can't really judge that much based on what's said there.
The animation is kind of like slow. I think it would be better if they're a little bit faster so he can catch up to others running away from him or something.
Oh, and it's hella smooth, Orange. That's nice. Oh, yeah, actually, here's a question to you, Orange. Is it smooth to the point where he can actually use it to close the gap now?
Like, it used to be so clunky that it didn't even really close the gap. Like, you're basically just good just to walk up to them. Like, so now if it's actually a gap closer, that would be awesome. If it's like 3 consecutive gap closers, that would be great for Lubu. Skill 3 immediately removes control effects on self and recover 10% of lost HP. And I'm assuming this means he keeps the lifesteal and all the, like, the steroids that he gets from his ultimate. So this is, that's definitely a really nice buff. So it kind of, this will make him a much more useful split pusher. So this, I could see actually bringing Luvu into relevance. Can I post? Yeah, go for it, Orange. Okay, cool. What can people expect at the link? Can you tell what is there? But anyways.
Oh yeah, it's much better. Oh yeah.
Too tiny, oof. Nice. Hopefully you get into Diamond. Good luck. Oh, does it just show the thing? Or I guess I can just click on it. What is the... Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Old Lubu, new Lubu. Does it just play or...
Yeah,
Oh, there we go. It's just taking its time. You should all be able to see this, right? Yep. Oh, yeah. That is so much nicer. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, okay. That's a definite buff to Lubu. If you can see, the left is the old version. It was just so clunky. So that's a really nice change. That honestly kept me heavily away from Lubu. And then the ult is going to make him a very good split pusher because he can get away because of the dropping the control effects. So that's going to give him the same benefit as like the Kilgraw has it with his ult, but Rourke has it with his ult type of thing. So those are very nice if you're a split pusher. And then with the smoother S1, that'll let him disengage better. So I would say this is a solid buff. This is the best buff we've seen so far. Maybe, I don't know, 4.5. I'll go 4.5. Boo Boo Kitty. Oh, nice. I know I'm loading the packs. Oh, okay, you're downloading. I'm in rank with Nuigra. Okay, cool. They're talking amongst themselves. Okay, Florentino. On to this one I know people are complaining about. Triple threat, true damage. So basically 25% nerf to his true damage. The reason I say 25% is the 4 is a coefficient. So it's a multiplier. So the 4 goes down to a 3. So that's why I'm saying 25% nerf. I don't know. I'd have to play him to feel how this is. 25% sounds like a good amount, but I'm not sure if it's really going to play out that way.
It is.
I don't know. I feel like...
Look, because it's not I play Florentino, and I played the new one and the old one.
Oh, okay.
The true damage they put on it, it's not the main damage dealer, but it's a nice, it's a nice cherry on... Not a cherry. It's a nice cream on top of the cake,
Yeah, you hit the point that I was about to say. I don't think the true damage is what made him OP.
You can escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can escape. Now you have a chance to escape. So that's what they did. But he's still really, really strong.
Yeah, to me, his main issue is more the sustain. I'll put it that way. Yeah. His sustainability in a disadvantageous fight. I do not think a hero should be able to 3v1. And when everybody has the same amount of gear. Like, if you're 5k ahead of the other 3, then yeah, okay, go ahead and 3v1. But if you're even, you should not be able to 3v1. And I don't think this change fixes that. So I would say it's a nerf, but it's too small of a nerf and not to the right thing.
The thing is, so let's put it in line. It's a nerf to triple threat, but it's not nerf to the refreshment of his passive, which is the main damage dealer here. It's the auto attack. It's not triple threat itself. Cool. Triple threat is like a gap closer or something, like an extra gap closer. It's like an extra swish there, but it's his passive that keeps resetting. That's the main damage. So it could dish in 4,100 damage, and the true damage is like 432 or something. I remember saying the number. So it's the auto attack that's the problem.
Yep.
And not the true damage, and the damage from triple threat as well. So anyway.
Cool. I'll let you. What do you think? 1 to 10. How is that a nerf?
2.
2. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 2. Richter. Okay, Richter I can obviously speak a lot more about. Let's see. Battle Instinct. Riverbed movement speed increased by 20%. Awesome. Thank you. So now I can roam even better. I take it. Jungle Strike. So only Jungle Strike's getting touched, and reduce hitbox size in bush from increasing hitbox size. So basically they're making it harder to get the knockup. I'd have to play to see how much harder it is, but I think it's already, you're probably fine. I think the hitbox was pretty forgiving. I don't think that's going to be a super, this could be a huge nerf depending how much they reduce the hitbox. Like if they cut the hitbox in 80% by 80%, yeah, that's going to be really rough. If it's only like a 5% reduction in the hitbox, I don't see that being a major issue. Thank you for the follow,
anyway,
Boo Boo Kitty.
Old King Cole, he said, just played against a jungle Florentino as Hayate. He hid in the bush and ambushed me while rotating, both of us level 6 according to the death recap. His S2 did 1,000. Okay, was it physical damage or true damage though? That's what we're talking about. Was it physical damage or true damage? Because I bet you the most of it was physical damage, not true damage. True damage was like a little bit, probably like 200 at level 6.
Yeah, it's probably the 100 was his auto attack. The 15 was the true damage.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Increased TO 20% by 20%, not by 20. Wait, what? What is, wait, TO? I think I read this too late. What is T?
Oh, Hayate crits true on NA now. Oh my god.
Oh, and Hayate does crit true damage on NA now?
Oh,
okay,
no.
so Hayate moves into a
my
top tier hero now, for sure.
Shit.
And sorry, Matt, I'm not following what your comment is in reference to.
No, he's saying that the speed is increased from 15 to 20. It's not increased from 15 to 35. To 35, yeah. It's not increased by 20. It's increased to 20. So instead of 15, it's 20.
Oh,
they didn't add 20%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Because that would.
Oh no,
like,
actually 20%. I thought by 20% times 15. So I thought it was only a 3% change. But you're saying it's a 5% change.
No.
So even better.
Yes.
Even bigger of a buff than I thought it was. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Tencent. More roaming. Anyways, Jungle Strike, I can't really say without playing because, like I said, it's based on how hard it is to land the knockup now. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go too much into it. Also, what that most likely means by the hit size is for the knockup. It's not going to be for the swipe, because if it was for the swipe, that would also be a nerf to his S1 overall, all of his different stances, because the swipe damage, when he swings his sword at the end of a dash, is actually the highest damage source of his S1. So anyways, I don't think it's going to affect that, so I don't think that's a huge nerf. He scaling lower and base damage lower. Percent damage while in bushes is a flat 7%. Okay, so I think what they mean is the what happened, and I can't remember where it starts. I can actually look that up quick. Or actually, Adam, could you look that up where it started? But
what?
His bush scaling, his percent scaling in the bush.
Okay. It was at first it was 15, and then they nerfed it from a number to a number. I think 7 to 15, and now.
Okay, so it went 7 to 15. Okay. Yeah, 7 to 15 sounds about right. So, anyways, instead of starting at 7 and going up to 15, it'll just stay at 7.
It was 15, then 7 to 10.
Okay, I don't know. Here, let's look.
Then 7,
I'll just look.
Like
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Sure.
While you're looking, I need to say something because they're talking here.
Yeah, go for it.
Much with it. Not sure if you already covered this CS, but I'm curious how you think the mental changes when we get to the mental changes. Old King Cole, but 1 second, I'm talking about what you and a guy in orange talked about. I have a picture of the mental doing 125. I have to ask you, King Cole, when you were fighting that Florentino, you had life steal on you, didn't you? You had life steal, right? And when you attacked him, you stole some life while you were fighting him, didn't you? And that's what I'm saying. The percentage isn't, it's 115. That's the percentage of the damage he did. When you regained more health, you increase the percentage above your max health. That's what it means. 115 is the health that you lost plus the base health that you lost plus the health that you stole and lost. That's what it means. On Thanes, you can find that they have 212 damage because they have a lot of sustain. And that's what it means. It doesn't mean that 112 is 211 is amazing. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's not that it's out of the blue. No. It's the health that you actually lost, but you stole and then lost again. Yeah.
Okay, and then real quick, so Samurai doesn't have it, and I don't know the percentages off the top of my head. Like, I know what the extra feels like when I'm playing, but I'm not sure the percentages. But 7 to 15 sounds about right to me, because I think 15 used to be the max. So basically having that. Yeah. So this is definitely a nerf to his knockup. This
I
this
mean,
is a semi-significant. It's gonna
it's
downgrade
really
Richter a
uncalled
little
for.
bit, but the main thing for him is his alt into his knockup. So as long as he can still hit alt into knockup, taking some of his damage off of his S1 isn't going to be a hugely impactful. Also, the dash damage, to keep in mind, the dash damage is the smallest portion of damage that his S1 does. Okay, so there's three components to Richter's S1 damage. There's the dash, there's the sweeping strike at the end, and then there's the enhanced auto attack. Okay, and
Hmm.
in order, the sweeping strike is the highest damage. It's about 66% of the damage. Dash is only about 1/3 of the damage, and then the enhanced auto I keep as a separate thing because right it just enhances your follow up. But even the enhanced auto attack is actually greater than the dash. So this looks like a big nerf to the dash, but the dash is the most insignificant part of Richter's S1. Hopefully I made
Hmm.
that clear. So I don't think this is as big as it looks. Retaliate, and this is an awesome buff.
Mm.
Thank you once
Oh
again.
yeah,
Thank you for
it
this
is.
one. Is there his S2 is going to do more damage. The base level damage is going up, not by a lot. The part that I'm happy about is the stun is increased. So to
Yes,
me, I think
it's more
S2. What's
rewarding.
really fun about Richter's S2 is it's very hard to get the stun, but when he
Hmm.
does land it, I think it should be heavily rewarded because
More
it is
rewarding.
such a
Yes,
skillful
yes, yes,
thing. And that
yes.
0.25 seconds matters a lot more than people probably think because that is enough time for me to get that extra auto attack off that's going to win me the duel. So you'll see a lot of times a Richter, like anybody who's been watching me stream Richter will have seen this, is I am just about to get another auto attack off and then I die because they get it off first. This will fix that, which is awesome. Um, so passive, that's a buff. Skill 1, it's a nerf, but it's only to one stance and it's the lowest damage source. And then S2 is a buff. I would say overall, I don't know. I think this is a slight buff. I have to play. I have to play with S1. It depends how
Yeah,
reduced the
yeah.
hitbox is. So
Because
I'm gonna
it's
hold
two
comment.
buffs and one, two buffs and one nerf. So
Yeah, and if it's almost impossible to land his knockup, it is a nerf. If his knockup is still easy to land, then it is. I would say it's a slight buff. So either
you
way,
know
it's
what I
it's a
think?
slight nerf or a slight buff.
You know what I think? I think it's because when you come out of the bush, you can do it twice. They want.
Yeah, I
I think
think
they
I,
want
I
you
think
just
they
to
want
do
to stop
one.
you from doing that. That makes sense to me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
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 that
yeah.
that does make sense to me. And if that's the case, it's still going to be easy to land because the reason you could land a double knockup out of the bush is because the S1 was very forgiving if you were closer. So not at the
Yes,
tip,
yes,
it
yes.
was actually towards the back. So if they just made the
Yeah, yeah,
hitbox
exactly,
so it's only
exactly.
in front of
Right.
your S1, that totally is going to
Hmm.
not affect Richter landing his knockup. And then I think he overall got a slight or a slight buff in that case. But I'll
Yeah.
test. You guys will hear my opinions when I actually play it. But actually, I just realized the Richter that I play on Thai server probably already is affected by this. I would guess, which means it's not.
Hmm.
It's nothing then. I'll have to play Richter on NA to test it out. But anyways,
Okay.
um, Virus magic damage. Okay, so base. Okay, let's get this whole thing. This looks like a long one. Um, wait, what? Okay, yeah. So magic damage, base damage is nerfed. Level scaling is buffed, and item scaling is neutral. So you would need to get what 5? So 70 divided by 5, so 14. Level 14. Until level 14, this is a nerf, and level 15, it is a buff. Is everybody clear on that? Um, so that's definitely a nerf. And AK, you have to wait till you're max level with Virus until this skill, the magic damage is back to where it used to be. So that's a nerf. Lifesteal on hit 12%, change to 8 to 5. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so and this probably ends up meaning it's about neutral because here's the thing: you used to steal 12%, but you did and you did more damage. So now your damage is going to be lower and you steal less. Oh, so that's actually a pretty that
I
nerf
don't
is
know
going
if
to hurt her early game sustain quite a bit. What?
I think I played it recently, and yeah, I felt it.
And
on the
Steel
tie.
from
If
100.
it's updated on the tie, then yeah, I felt it.
Oh,
I
okay,
felt
yeah.
the note. I felt
So
out.
this is an early game. It will make her worse at sustaining in lane early game. And late game, she's going to end up stronger because she's going to have more damage and more lifesteal. So this is one of those things, I would say it's more of a rework than it is a nerf or a buff. It changes her power curve. And what I mean by power curve is at what point in the game she's really strong or really weak, etc. So it changes that, but overall it keeps her very similar power, just different power spikes. Steel from 120 to 150, so she steals more. And I'm assuming what they mean by that is her steel modifier. So actually, then if you think about that, it goes up to 150 from... So that's the max, right? I think max life steal 100... Oh, the way they wrote this makes it... Oh, these are separate. Oh my god. Okay. Here, wait.
Yes.
It should have been like this. Okay. So 12% to that, but the 12% was on 120%, and then now the 8 and 15... 100. Okay, so this is a buff. This is a pretty large buff. Because even the 8% with an extra... So 8 would turn into what? 12, right? Yeah, so 8 would be 12% basically, right? So 8 times 150, whereas the 12 was 14.4. So it's a slight nerf there, but then 15 times 15 is significant buff. So that's a buff. Okay, I'm going buff overall. Not super huge though, because of the change to the actual damage itself. So let's say a 2 buff on passive. Nah, 3. A buff of a 3 on the passive. Bloody Fang fix. Oh, this is nice. That's Bloody Fang is super annoying to hit because the indicator's weird. Like it doesn't where you would think the two chains converge, they don't really converge, which makes it annoying. As an experienced Virus, this isn't going to matter, but for players trying to pick up Virus, this is going to help them a lot. So that's a nice quality of life, but I don't count it as a nerf or a buff. Serpent's Embrace, buff the base damage, nerfed the scaling on level, and buffed the scaling on items. So we need to get to level... Let's see, so 5... So at level 3, they would have been even. So after level 3, this is a nerf. Before level 3, it is a... Well, then I'm not counting scaling. But 10% scaling, so if we're talking about like 200-ish, you're talking only about maybe 20. Yeah, so I would say around level 4, this becomes a buff. That and I'm running this mental math live streaming, so give me some leeway on that. But I would say S2 is buffed after level 4, and it's a nerf pre-level 4. Hopefully that is clear. Or wait. Oh god, I'm getting this backwards. It is a nerf... No, it's... Oh god. It's a buff before level 4. And then it's... but no, because then her item scaling is going to go up. No, just rework. I think just power rework. She'll be slightly weaker early game and slightly stronger late game, would be my guess. Oh, see, this is the danger of doing these type of things live. Oh my gosh. Venom, Serpent Blood, true damage. Okay, let's see. So to here, yeah. Okay, so base damage, same. Scaling. Okay, so scaling at the rank 1 is the same. Rank 2 and rank 3 are nerfed slightly. Physical attack boost when enraged. Reduced. So they're slightly reducing or slightly nerfing her ult, I would say. But it's not that big. Let me think about these numbers. 2% of HP already lost. So if you're at 50... Yeah, yeah, I would say that's a minor nerf. So overall, we said is buff, neutral, probably a slight buff, and this is a nerf. So I would say overall rework to Virus. I would say the nerfs and the buffs kind of cancel out, so they're just more shifting power around than they are going to be like crushing Virus. So I think if you're a Virus player, you're basically at the same point you were before the patch. Are you going to remember all of this when you actually go in and play? What do you mean, Matt?
Well,
Like, are you
no.
asking, do I take
Does
this
it?
into account when I go to play? Is that what you're saying?
Or
He's
you
gonna have
think
a cheat
he's
sheet
gonna
ready. Oh
cheat?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's normally how I think but okay, let me qualify. That is a good question.
You,
So when I look at these, this is what happens. If I was doing this without you guys, I would go through the notes the same way that I'm going through them. I'm literally showing you guys exactly what I normally do. So last patch, the patches before, this is how I go through them, and I think about it, and I think about how it changes in relation to my mains. Okay. So Virus I care about and Richter I care about because I love Richter. And when I'm playing Richter, I lane against Virus. So I think about more the interaction. So right now, for me, I struggle against Virus in the early game because of her passive, right? And I feel like it's hard for me to take good trades with Virus. So then I look at this and I'm not memorizing every single formula for Virus, but what I am saying to myself
it is
is
in your
my
head as a
lane versus
percentage.
Virus going to be harder, or is it going to be easier, or is it going to be the same? Is that make
But
sense,
it is
Matt?
in your mind, like, as a percentage. Like she could do more damage by doing this or doing that safer. Like in your mind, it's a small calculation of averages.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can act upon it. Yeah, it's the same for me. Yeah, that's why I read those things
Yeah.
anyway. It's
So,
like a small percentage in your mind, so that's good as well.
and to be
You should
concrete
remember those.
about this, I think it's going to be easier for me to lane against Virus now. And I think I'm going to do better
Oh
against
yeah.
Virus players because they've shifted power late game for her, and I struggled against her early, and she was easy late game for me to play against as Richter. So now I don't think they gave her enough power to where she's going to override my Richter power late game. And early game, it's just going to make it easier for me to not get bullied by her. So that's how I look at these patches, Matt. And I think all of you, it's the same thing. You have your hero pool. I wouldn't try to memorize every single difference.
Of
I would
course
just try
not.
to
Yeah.
memorize the things that are going to affect you and how they're going to affect you. Another example, another thing is for drafting and banning, right? It's like, is Elsu worth banning now? That's another thing that comes in my head. I think he's still bannable. Like I
Oh yeah.
probably will still ban him. I can understand when he doesn't get banned. I can understand that, but I think to me, Richter's still somebody I would ban. That's the other thing I would think about. Darcy, I think we're going to see him more in the jungle, but so when I see him in draft ban, I'm going to think of him more as a jungler than I would as, oh, they got their mid laner. Another example, Lubu. I can start seeing people pick Lubu. If my teammate picks Lubu, I'm not going to be necessarily as tilted. I might kind of be like, oh, okay, he can hold his own, split push well, cool, right? Florentino, I'm still going to ban. Richter, I'm going to roam more. That's what I see out of this. I'm going to roam even more.
Yep.
So hopefully that answered your question, Matt. That's how I view patch notes. That's like how I approach them, how I incorporate the changes into my own game.
So hold up 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
When you use Hermes on, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to be, when you use Hermes on him, so you have 60, 60, 120, and then the 20% is added to the 120, not to the base movement speed, isn't it?
I'm not sure on that, to be frank.
Shit.
I think this is how it works, but I could be wrong. It's like armor pierce, right? It's flat and then you add the percentage based on the percentage times your base.
I get you, yeah. Oh yeah, maybe it's like that.
So it's like if you have 100 and flat was 20 or 60 movement, then you would have 160 from that. But then when you do the percentages, you're not multiplying them by 160. You multiply them by the 100, and then you add that number. I think, but I'm not.
I think you're.
I could be wrong about that.
I think yours makes more sense because that would make him very, very fast.
Yeah, it would make him insanely
make him
fast.
stupid fast.
But either way, he's going to be faster. That's the true mattering.
Which is better. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of another thing Matt's asking, which is don't be overwhelmed. Like players aren't going maybe as hardcore as you're thinking they are. I don't think there's any player who looks at these patch notes and goes, you know what? I'm going to be able to hit DS 2 seconds earlier. And because of that, I'm going to all of a sudden butterfly effect to the end of the game. Like, I don't think that's what people do when they look at these. It's more, it gives them a rough idea of new things to try or opens new possibilities is more how it goes. Okay, anyways, we're there. Arduin, skill 1 rend. Okay, let's look at this. Boop, boop, boop. So they are buffing the base damage. Scaling is the same, but the rank 1 is staying the same, so they're happy there. The 10%, this goes all the way to 30%. So they're giving him more late game power. And what I'm saying is, if you look at 300 to 330, that's a 10% buff. Whereas by his final rank 5, it's all the way up to a 30% buff. So they're giving him a lot more late game power. Follow-up attack. Okay, so his next attack, same thing, and same exact change. So basically just double the initial. So yeah, that's going to be, I mean, that's nice. And his rend is that, like, the thing that knocks you up, I believe, correct? So he casts it once and then casts it again, knocks you up with the damage. So yeah, buff to his late game. So that's good. Arduin, is it enough to make him super viable? I don't think so, but is it a nice step to make him an option? Yeah, probably. Okay, and I'm giving numbers. So if I was looking at that, so it's what, 30, so we're going 10%, then we're going about 20. So it's probably overall maybe like a 20% buff to his damage, 25% buff to his damage maybe. So I'll give that a 3.5 to Arduin, because it's only one skill after all. So yeah, 3.5.
Yeah.
Terra, Fighting Spirit, HP heal in 3 seconds from 6% of lost to 9% lost. Okay, so that's not, I mean, that's 50% buff, so that's good. I don't think it's enough to make her super relevant. I would say it's maybe like a 3. Nah, it's probably 4. I'm gonna give her a 4. It's a little bit more significant than the Arduin, because her Terra's whole thing is her ability to sustain, right? And regenerate health. So so a 50% buff to part of her sustain, that is a significant buff to her. But I still don't think that's going to make her super relevant in the DS lane. Colossal Smash is... Okay, so the slows just stays at 6. Okay, so this makes her better as like a peeler. So early game 30% is not much. 60% is pretty significant as a debuff to a slow. So this will make her much more helpful for peeling enemies off of her marksman and stuff. So that's nice. So between these two, yeah, I will give her a solid, that's a buff of a 4. A 4 buff. Quillin, base damage is nerfed. Scaling is nerfed off of itemization. It is due. Is it enough to make him not insta-ban? Probably. Is it enough to make him irrelevant? I don't think so based on just this. Let's go to the next ability. Base damage, same. Scaling reduced. Okay, so I think, and let's put it in the way that we were talking with Matt about it. Quillin will still be played. I don't think he's going to be an insta-ban. He's still going to be super annoying, and he's still probably going to carry people heavily through Platinum. But I think by the time he gets to like Diamond level players, this reduction in damage to him will let them find outplays to Quillin. And it will make it harder for him to snowball. What this has really hit is this is going to affect Quillin's snowball ability to snowball quite a bit. Yes. Yeah, I don't think the skill 2 nerf matters as much. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Matt, you would be a great one to give your opinion since you are a Quillin main, so, yeah. I think you'll actually be able to play him in Diamond now. That to me, that's the only major thing I see.
I don't know why they still ban him, to be honest. He's not that hard to deal with. I don't know. Maybe
it's because he snowballs so hard. That's why. I mean... And honestly, with the changes, like they want us to start focusing on dragons and DS, so honestly, that's probably going to help that's going to fit Quillin even better, I would say, into the meta. So if they would have left him as is, and then the monster changes, I think things would get really rough. Nacroth, skill 2 death sentence. All of 1.2 AD components of sweep physical damage can crit. Okay. Oh, so that's okay. I got you. So basically, it used to be that his S2, the entire thing could crit, and now the only part that can crit is the initial attack, I think, or like the base auto attack is what I would get out of this. Is anybody understand that differently than I am understanding that?
What, the Nakaroth?
Yeah, for the Nakaroth, for the skill 2, because I think what it is it's basically he has
No
his
one
auto
uses
attack
skill 2 for
component in
that.
the add-on. Okay, wait, go ahead.
The skill 2 is used as either an engage or a disengage, and it's used for the passive from the enhanced attack speed. From when you use a skill, your passive is that your attack speed is enhanced for, I think, couple of maybe a second or a second and a half or something like that.
So either way,
it's not
minor
like
nerf.
Use it for the damage. Yeah, it's nothing. It's
minor
almost
nerf.
nothing.
Yes, I'll say 1.5 nerf. Not big.
I'd say it's 0.5 nerf.
0.5 nerf. Okay.
Yeah.
Teamy. So gold salvaging blah. Down from 25 to 20. Minimal. The bug fix, I'm not sure how significantly that affects it, but honestly, as long as the Pooty Poots works to what it's described as, it's still really good.
Yeah,
this is a nerf, not significant. I think this gold level only really mattered on very high level play, like pro play.
Maddie
for ladder, I don't think it will matter as much. I could see this making it so pros don't ban Teamy as much as he gets banned in the pro scenes. But so a nerf, I think maybe like it's probably like a 3.5. I would say it is a substantial nerf because his gold thing is what really helps him funnel gold onto carries. So that actually is pretty significant. Every hero should be strong. I hate nerfs. Okay, you're one of the you're in the camp of just to bring balance by buffing. You're the reason WoW went from like 1K crit to I don't even know what it is nowadays. Probably like 1 million. I don't know. I like having things lower.
Matt asked you.
What did Matt ask?
Nerf number for Quillen.
Oh, my nerf number for Quillen?
He asked you to do it, Matt.
Yeah.
Because he's a...
My guess is 4. Substantial, but not super substantial.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go 4.
I agree.
Well, let's see if Matt agrees. Okay, Matt, what's your thought as a Quillen main? Think? Okay, we'll wait for that.
I don't know. I played him today.
And went 21-3. Okay, well then maybe less than 4. Or maybe you're just beasting out. Who knows? But
oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a real quick break so I can go to the restroom before we dive into the equipment changes, and then so we are almost done. And then don't worry, Will, we're almost done. I think probably 10 more minutes on this, and then I'll be good to queue up. But I'll be right back. Annam, take over.
Take over to what? Who was asking about the mantle? Okay, actually, read. Hammer, you're still here. Okay, still gambling, going strong. Okay, your notes. You said something in the before he speaks about it, because he's gonna speak about it anyway. Questions, where you at, honey? All right, questions. There you go. I would like to answer these questions. Oof, big man, big talk. Mental changes. Mantle change is acceptable. To be honest, Mantle is too powerful on early game fighter because of the high defend and extra damage on one item. And its new effect will definitely be usable with tanky side laners such as Zenial and Roxy. Hercules will definitely replace old Mantle, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say anything much. Quillen sucks now. Well, I think you and Maddie could have a face off on that. Well,
okay, I'm back. Okay.
Yep.
Quillen sucks now. I mean, honestly, if you really look at it, the main things that are going to be hit by that are his clear speed. So he's going to make it to level 4 slower, which is going to make him gank not as quickly. And then if he does get a couple early kills, he's not going to snowball as hard. I mean, he's still going to snowball, obviously, but not crazy level. So that's how I think about it. Okay, anyways, on to the equipment. Purifying bracers can be used while stunned. That's awesome. That is an outstanding thing. The hero that I most would use that on now is Sephora, out of the top of my head, because there's a lot of times I've died because I couldn't get my ultimate off because I was CC'd. So as a support Saphira, I will definitely grab that so that I can remove that CC and get my ultimate off. So that's a good change. Heart of the Incubus is going to be a controversial one, which is interesting for people. They're reducing the armor. The cost is insignificant. 40 gold is like nothing. The armor itself, I could look up the gold efficiency, but that would take me a second. If people really want me to look at the gold efficiencies of these, I can recalculate it quick. I have an Excel sheet for that. But
Nice.
The armor's insignificant. I'll just say that. You can basically, okay, I will kind of look at it. Give me 1 second here. I won't do the whole item, but gold efficiency. Open. Okay, it's opening very, very slowly. There we go. Yeah, so armor, I mean 30 armor is, wait, it was 30, right? Yeah, 30, and who was that? So I can, hosting. Oh, Raw, thank you for the host, brother, appreciate it. Welcome everybody new to the channel. We're just covering patch notes, and then I'm going to dive into some games. But anyways, 30 armor is only worth about 70 gold. Not quite 70 gold, so like, let's say 66 gold, right? And then they reduced the price by 40. So actually, just the armor alone is making Heart of the Incubus less gold efficient, but then let's see the other changes. They cut the passive to the minions. The main thing is when you're fighting other heroes, the minions help your clear speed, but it's insignificant later in the game. I mean, right, like say I'm on Richter, the burn from the Heart of Incubus is not what I'm using to clear my minions. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So they did make that item less efficient though, gold efficient. And then price here, or wait, sorry, they reduced the price. Yeah, they reduced the price by only 40. But so, and what I mean is it cost 40 less gold, but they removed 70 gold worth of armor. Okay, so here we go, Mantle of Ra. They reduced the cost by 50, but they removed 130 armor. That is not fun. That is a lot of armor to remove. 130 armor is significant. That's like what, about 330 gold. So they reduced the price by 50 and removed 330 gold worth of armor. But then they gave 1,000 HP, which that's 1,000 gold. So that's actually very nice. So awesome, thank you. What is it? What? Does anybody understand this? They added 1,000 HP and added 60 HP? What? I'm guessing this is regen. I'm assuming this is regen, and they removed the attack, so that sucks. What?
Oh yeah, the mantle? The mantle?
Yeah, the mantle. Like right here where I'm highlighting.
Regen.
Yeah, regen. Yeah. Okay. So actually I am gonna run this. Give you guys give me a second. I'm gonna do the Adam, maybe you can answer some chat stuff. I'm gonna rerun the gold efficiency of this real quick.
Okay.
Because I think that will be an interesting discussion.
Hey Tiny, reach diamond, huh? Without me. How could you? How could you do that? How could you do it without me, man? I thought we were friends. I thought you loved me. You end up ranking without me. What the hell? Let's see who's gonna cure your gamble addiction.
Okay, there we go.
You are one big ass blood.
330 and 80 attack.
Oh, caught up. Shit.
And I'm almost done. We go 200. HP is 1,000, and regen is 60 now, correct? 60, and no attack damage.
Great.
Okay, so gold efficiency, it hurt it, but not horribly. So basically, we lost 23 gold worth of stats for the new version. Or wait, sorry, the new version gained 23 gold, and they reduced the price though. So overall, actually, they made it more gold efficient from the stats point of view. So you're getting about 70 extra gold worth of stats from the new Mantle of Ra versus the old one. So then what that means is it comes down more to the shift. So it's a more HP item than it is an armor item now, and then it's not good for attackers. So this is going to hit warriors. It's going to make it better on the tanks. And then the 100 damage turns into just 2%. So yeah, this is just going to become much more of a tank item. I can see like Roxy will love this item. Zenial will really, really, really love this item. But like for instance on Richter, I probably won't build this anymore. I don't know. I'll have to test with it, but like some of the Bruiser, like Omen type of stuff, I could see them skipping Mantle of Ron, just opting for something else.
I'll just for Richter, I've been thinking about this for just go Odins because a lot of players play him with Odins anyway. So
I don't think Old King, I don't think it will be highly prioritized, but I can still understand if people use it. Is that clear?